What does it mean to have a scaffolding of love within your life? There is a balance for you here, structure, unification, the balancing of all the scales in your reality, meaning the pillars of ascension, but also we pretty much walk into this world with a blindfold on. And once we understand that when we come into the connection of something that speaks to us, to our spirit, to the divinity within everything and all things, then the blindfold is taken off, and then you enter as an apprentice, a magician that was once a necromancer and now breaking away from the things that blind them. So this means that we have performed a life that is pretty much performative. We're not really living as ourselves, but we're still growing and attaining to the knowledge that is kept sacred. Occultus and occultism is just something that is hidden and is a secret. There's nothing really creepy about it. But what this means is that the arbitrary nature of reality has chaos, has wisdom, the ability to see through the smoke and mirrors of your reality, to be able to walk through those mirrors and be in a completely different space. So this means that we bend everything with our mind so that there isn't a twistedness to reality. If you notice that if you had bad luck in your life and things just did not go your way, you always had trouble with money, people always betrayed you, people cheated on you, people always have to get rid of the binding ritual that keeps them tied down to this existence. And so once the twistedness and the intuition is able to come in, then we come as an astral body that is presented and projected and sent out as a vibration. Then this molecule that we've accumulated as I can be am. So this means that with our mindfulness, with our ability to appreciate, to not be indoctrinated into thinking that we can't go through the veil, but the secret is to really search for the truth and what it means for you. But if you don't go after it, you can literally think that a boat floating across the water is just floating on top of the water, but the boat is actually presenting the illusion that it's floating on the water. So when Jesus walked on water, he was just showing you that he was the illusion creating that experience. So experientially, we never really create or generate anything in our lives. We're never really doing anything. We're just thinking that we're doing everything. But every time that you forget something, it shows how intuition in the cosmos, in the constellation of all the stars, everything that is out there can presently be here. And that's why you forget everything before you enter into this place. Because nobody in their right mind would want to come back to this fucking hellacious earth that we live on. Nobody would do that in their right mind, but we did it anyway, right? Because we did it, here's the thing. None of us are safe. But there's one hidden truth for you. Do you know that you're saved? And that you can explore all aspects of who you are in your own mystique as a form of mysticism. The masochistic nature of reality means that we're always feeling as if we're threatened by something, that we always look at a consequence within everything. And then that leads to predetermination, which doesn't give us a scaffolding of love, and we're not held in that love, and we're not channeling from the open windows of heaven and having the doors of heaven laid at our feet. I'm saying that you don't have to wait before you die to get to heaven. That's what everybody doesn't get when I say that. But a lot of you, and I'm not saying that to be arrogant, people don't understand me because I'm out there and what I channel is very much out there. The reason for that being is that most of my journey, I have been channeling wisdom from the occult and esotericism and theosophy, and I've just came to that realization here and now. So it's kind of like when people perform ceremonies and rites, or maybe they're doing work. It can be done for productive purposes or destructive purposes. So this means that you're an inclusion of everything Spirit wants you to be. No matter what side you are on, there are forms of magic and mystery and mystique that people have performed. Rather it's levitation, rather it's actually going into another dimension, time traveling, being de-aged, or even a lot of people in different cultures, there's a reason why all this knowledge is kept a secret, is because if it gets into the wrong hands, somebody's just going to mess it up and not do everybody justice. Divine justice comes in many different forms. So a lot of people are like, am I gonna get that money back from that person that stole money from me? I've lost tons of money, and it's always come back to me in some way, shape, or form. So at the end of the day, you can be bent out of shape about it, or you could just get over it and move on. When we hold grudges, all we're doing is holding in energy, siphoning energy from people, holding them to a different standard than who we actually are. Instead, what we should do is see everybody as an individuated oneness with no judgment. We're always conditional. We're always oppositional in the way that we place everything, the way that we say everything. Every emotion that is not coming from a sense of knowing yourself is always a lie. We believe in lies because we allow spirits to dictate our existence. And because that we do that, we're allowing everything to play with us or manipulate the energy around us. But we're able to manipulate the energy with our mind. This is how we have mind control. So this means that our persuasiveness and our energy, we are a shapeshifter of energy, but collectively we are martyrs. We are just statues, pretty much. We are just statues. And until we break through the stones, until we break through feeling like we're stuck somewhere, then we're not really stuck. It's just our inability to do something about it is why we feel stuck, is why we feel like there's not a lot of movement in our reality. But once we do something about it and we are in the pursuit of happiness, whatever that may mean for us, then we can create at will. But if we don't, then we never will. And it's like I'm walking out in the middle of the street and I don't give a shit if cars are coming. I'll look and be careful, but that's how present you can be. Is coast, is to float, is to ride the waves. Ride the wave of life. And don't feel that life is having its way with you or discrediting you, pummeling you, knocking you out in the first round. You just got to get back up. And every time that you do that, well, life happens one day at a time. So, but part of the reason why people are so angry, or I see this a lot in the spiritual community, they're just tearing people down. We should be building people up, not tearing them down. That's what we should do. But instead, what we're doing is this is the ultimate truth. This is this, and this is that, and this is how I know this because I'm a certified whatever. Okay, that's great for you, but at the end of the day, everybody learns at their own pace and everybody has their own path. And who am I to say that one path is greater than another? Because it's your own.